What's up guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Buttkicker Gamer Plus. I've been looking at this product for a really long time. It's a pretty common product for the more serious sim racers, especially if you're running on PC, but I think it's quite underrated for the console players. Basically, it just takes the audio coming from your console. For me, it's my Xbox. It's gonna take that audio and it's gonna send it to a haptic transducer, which is just basically a device with a big piston in it. So it shakes your entire rig if you go over a rumble strip, or if you're playing Call of Duty and you're busting in a door, you're gonna feel that door just kind of shake your entire rig. Or when you're shooting, you're getting shot at, or your footsteps, all those little haptics and noises are gonna come through the Buttkicker and just give you a little bit more of that immersion when you're gaming. And I just want to give a big shout out to Buttkicker for getting me hooked up with this unit and being able to give you guys a review about it. So that's enough of the overview. Let's get this thing unboxed. So if you order a kicker in the US, I can only speak in the US because that's where I'm at, but if you order one of these within a day or two, they're going to ship this out via UPS, and you'll probably have it within 2 or 3 days after that. So shipping, very quick and easy, which helps for people like me that just can't wait to get something after they order it. So let's take a look at what's in here. Manuals, quick start guide. It's going to come with this haptic connect, which that is only useful if you're on PC. What that actually allows you to do is dial in the haptic feedback that's going to come out of the Buttkicker. So you could put more emphasis on different outputs that you're getting. So if you maybe in Call of Duty, you don't want your footsteps to give you a lot of that motion, but you prefer more feedback when you shoot your gun or something, you can dial all that in on PC. Unfortunately for console, again, it's just feeding off the audio, so you don't really have that control of what you want to feel more of, what you want to feel less of. So if you're on PC, Haptic Connect, I know there's a couple other softwares you can use as well. The other nice thing is that, say you get 2 of these Buttkickers or even 4, on PC, you could set up your front left, your front right, your back left, your back right, which is super amazing if you're sim racing. You can actually tell your PC which Buttkicker is assigned where, and then say you go over the curb on your front left tire, you're only gonna feel that on your front left of your rig. So that's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to set that up once I get into the PC world, but we're not there yet. So for now, let's go over this and how it works with the console. So in your Buttkicker package, packed super nice and tight, you're gonna have your actual Buttkicker, which is your haptic transducer that's gonna mount onto your office chair or your sim rig. You have your amplifier and you have all your connections. So let's pull these all out and go over how to hook them all up. So let's start with the main piece, which is your actual Buttkicker haptic transducer. So there's 2 mounting options. Basically, you could just mount this to any square or round tubing, tighten it down and clamp it in. Or if your tubing is too thick, or you actually have another mount, you could mount this onto your actual sim rig, and then this basically just slides into here, and now you mounted this onto your rig. So pretty straightforward way to mount this. And next we have the amplifier. So you just need to realize you need to find a spot for this. So most of us gamers, sim racers, we like to have everything nice, clean, tidy, wire, cable management. Just know you're gonna have a lot more cables and you need a little bit of space to put this up. So just keep that in mind when you're ordering one of these. It's not just the Buttkicker, you also have this little amplifier. So on this amplifier, you have your low filter cutoff switch, your high cutoff frequency, which you can dial in where you want it to cut off, and your volume. Now with this, you're also gonna get a little remote. So say you have this amplifier further away from your sim rig or your setup, you got this nice remote. You can change all the settings on here, turn it off and on. So that's really nice to use. Now the cables are pretty straightforward. You have your power cable to power your amplifier. Then you have your audio cable, which there's a couple methods that you can use to mount this. So the easiest method that Buttkicker kind of suggests is basically just plugging this head jack into your controller. Basically, instead of using a headset, this will be taking the audio from your controller and then feeding it to your Buttkicker. The reason I don't like that is back when I had a wired headset, I always had to keep my controller on just to have my headset plugged in, and occasionally my controller would take over and I would lose complete feedback on my wheel, and it would just cut back and forth just because my controller's on, and it just keeps assuming that my controller is the primary device plugged in. So I prefer to not use my controller because I have a wireless headset now. So I'll show you guys how I set that up without having my controller running the entire time. So for I think $9 on Amazon, I got this HDMI audio extractor. And basically what it does is just allows you to tap into the audio that's coming from your HDMI, from your Xbox, going to your TV or monitor. So you're gonna have your HDMI cable coming from your Xbox, going into HDMI input, and your HDMI output is gonna go to your monitor or your TV. And then in addition, you have this head jack where you're going to plug your audio cable in, and then you're gonna send this to the amplifier. So now you don't have to have your controller running just for you to get the audio. If you do have a wired headset, they do also include an audio splitter. So if you have your headset and you are using your controller, you can just split that audio, 1 to the amplifier and 2 to your headset. So highly recommend this device. Again, I think it was about $9 on Amazon, and it prevents me from having to just run a controller for just audio reasons. Hey, future me here. I just figured out a better way to hook up the Buttkicker if you have a monitor. So instead of using the HDMI audio extractor or even having to use your controller, if you have a monitor, you can just plug that audio cable straight into your headphone jack in the monitor. Everything works great that way, so I just want to let you guys know that is the easiest way to hook it up if you have a monitor. All right, back to the video. And now the only other cable is basically to connect your Buttkicker haptic transducer to your amplifier. So that's just a quick overview and explanation of what's in the box. And let's go over to the sim rig and I'll show you guys how to hook it all up. So I'm running the Logitech play seat for my sim rig. So I'm going to show you guys where to mount it for this particular rig. If you guys have a better mount, let me know in the comments and I'll make sure to check it out. So doing some research online, I noticed a lot of people using this smaller crossbeam to mount the Buttkicker. But after doing some testing in different locations, I've noticed the best spot is right here on this thicker mount, which is literally right attached to right where the seat mounts. So I've noticed the most feeling mounting it right here. Basically, you want to open up both of these bolts till you have enough space. You're going to latch it on. So now that you have it mounted, you're going to take the cable coming from your Buttkicker and you're going to connect it to the audio output cable that came with the Buttkicker. You'll know because it's the only two that will go together. Basically plug those in. So now these two ends that are coming straight from your Buttkicker are going to go in these top mounts up here where it says speaker level output. So red in red, black in black. Now from there, we need to give it the input. So your other cables, which are red and white, are going to go in red and white. And now this is the cable you're either going to connect to your controller, or in my case, it's going into my HDMI audio extractor. Plug that in. Now we're going to put our input, which is the HDMI from the Xbox, and then output to the TV or monitor. The last thing left on the Buttkicker is to power your amplifier. So we'll plug that into power and plug that in the wall. All right, that's it for the unboxing and setup part of this video for the Buttkicker Gamer Plus. Stay tuned for the next video where I'm going to do a full review on the Buttkicker Gamer Plus after I've had some time to play around with it. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.